Hey guys, I want to talk about substance abuse, particularly alcohol abuse. It is very rampant in our society. And I believe that because it is legalized and it is so common that but people believe that it is naturally just okay to indulge without discretion into alcohol. And there is a term called alcohol use dependency, but I'll skim over that quickly during this rant. But I particularly want to talk about substance abuse with alcohol because I know a lady, right? And this lady's up in age, and she has been drinking consistently throughout her life. Now, when it first starts out, you never see yourself, I would imagine, just drinking every day for about 20 or 30 years straight. Eventually, this will catch up with you. Studies have shown that drinking, at least people who drink at least once a day, have way higher chances of getting cancers and cardiovascular type diseases. And they're linked, especially for women. I believe that you have an automatic 5% to 15% increase in all types of cancers, including and not limited to breast cancers and a lot of others. Men also. Now, this lady has been drinking for this amount of time. Now it's to the point where it has weakened her immune system and her bodily organs, and she's in the hospital, right? Now, the lady does not believe that she has a substance abuse problem when this is spoken about. Now, on the outside looking in, the lady is in the hospital. She has people sneaking her in her alcoholic beverages. The lady keeps drinking, even though her organs and her immune system is failing due to the drinking binge that she's been on her entire life. This is not enough. The lady starts to create problems within the hospital. She creates problems to the point where she's actually kicked out of the hospital. I had never heard of this happening before, but obviously it is something that does happen, and I have gotten verification from medical professionals that this does happen from time to time. So the lady gets kicked out. She's still drinking. So she's drinking throughout her life. It lands her in a hospital. While she's in a hospital with tubes going up her freaking nose and ventilators, and she can't even walk, she's still secretly drinking. Now she's becoming belligerent to the point where she is verbally assaulting the medical staff to the point where they can't deal with her anymore. Now they've asked her to leave. The lady cannot even walk, but she's still trying to drink as she tried to hobble with the walker to her Uber, right? Now, if you ask this lady, she would say that she has this all under control, when anyone with eyes can see that she obviously does not have this under control. Why are we like this? Why must we self-mutilate ourselves with these substances? I mean, I'm all for a good drink like any other good old American. But I believe it should be under twice a week. When I got went to truck driving school, we had to take a medical physical, and I believe the criteria was that you were supposed to be drinking less than 2 drinks a week to be considered healthy. Now, I know that this isn't the norm, but I mean, I think it's something that should be known. We have a lot of people that are walking around and we're having drinks and we're doing this and doing that, and we believe that we don't have a problem when everybody around us believe that we have a problem. And sometimes it's to the point where they may be even afraid to tell you that you have a problem. We got to take the time to look in the mirror and understand this. I mean, do you have is it usual for you to have conflict with people when you're under the influence? Do you find yourself in a lot of legal troubles, a lot of relationship problems, financial difficulties? Do you feel like the world is against you all the time, but you're still sitting there hitting that bottle? This may be you. It's not nothing to look down or on anybody about, because I've had the same problem. It takes a spade to know a spade. And what I had to do was back away from that bottle, because I was the toxic one. I was the one destructive to the relationships. I was like fire. So anybody and anything that came in contact with that fire while I was under the influence was bound to get burned. And a lot of us don't realize we're walking around burning people that we care about, and not realizing the complete damage that we are doing. And our words are very, very destructive, especially when we're under the influence of alcohol. I always like to use an analogy of a boy and his dad, and a story about words. And there was this boy who would always say mean things to his friends and family. And his dad asked him to come here one day. He said, "Son, I noticed the bad words that you use when you get angry, and I wanted to teach you something about that." So the dad tells the boy, "Well, every time you say a bad word, I want you to get one of those nails, and I want you to go hammer it in our fence." And as they had a fence going down the side of their house. So every time the boy said a bad word, he would grab a nail and go hammer it in the fence. Now, after about a year or so, the whole fence was filled up with nails, right? So the boy goes and gets his dad. He says, "Dad, the fence is filled up with nails." And the dad says, "Okay, well, now I want you to go over there and I want you to pull out every nail in that fence." So the boy goes over there and he starts pulling out all of the nails. And I mean, he's out there all day from sun up to sundown, and he finally gets it all done. And when he finally gets it all done, the fence is so miserable and thin that you can see through it clean through the other side. And he goes and gets his dad, and he brings his dad down. He said, Dad, look at the fence. We need a whole new fence now. I didn't know that the nails would do this to the fence." And that's when the dad breaks it down to the son, and he tells them, these are what your words do, son. See, your words are like these nails. See, whenever you say something bad to somebody, it's like the nail going in the fence. Now, you can take the words back, meaning you could pull the nails out of the fence, but you can't take away that damage that's already done. And this usually happens under the influence of alcohol. So I want you guys to take that into consideration if it may be you, because it's best to always do some in-house checking so nobody else have to do it for us. You know, I believe there's a rapper that made a song called Me Versus Me, called Moneybag Yo. I love the title of that song, because I feel like that's me. That's life. Your only competition is you. Are you better than you were yesterday? And this is around the board, including things like this, substance abuse, which is actually a health issue too. So let's keep our minds focused. Let's try to stay sober-minded and minimize the alcohol, as it does have adverse effects around the board, financially, spiritually, socially, and physically. So let's take all this into consideration, try to live a better and healthier life, as health is wealth. And I will talk to you guys soon. I am Twaun X. This is the Double Take Podcast. And please like the video.